Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Intermediate Guitar Chapter 17. Okay, we're going to move on to major 7th and minor 7th chords. We've been talking about some dominant 7 chords for the last chapters. Okay, for major 7, we're going to look at the key of C major, and for minor 7, we'll be looking at the key of A minor. And I want to point out that C major is the relative major to A minor, and we're going to use that logic to help map out some of the neck for our scales too. Okay, let's start off with some C major 7 chords. Now, if you think of a C7 bar chord off of the 5th string, I'm just going to add my middle finger to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. So for my C major bar chord, and this is totally movable shape, I'm going to have my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, rings on the 5th fret 4th string, middle's on the 4th fret 3rd string, pinky gets the 5th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 1st fret, the 1st string on the 3rd fret with my index, and then making some contact to mute my low 6th string. Here's your C major 7. Okay, now there's a nice open string, open position, C major 7-2. Just think of a C major, regular C major without your index. So I got my ring finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, middle's on the 2nd fret 4th string, and then open 3rd, 1st, and 2nd string. Okay, now up in the 8th position, there is a real nice major 7 that's based off of the low 6th string. So for this one, I'm going to have my index finger get the 8th fret on the 6th string. I'm going to skip the 5th string, go to my ring finger on the 9th fret 4th string, pinky is on the 9th fret 3rd string, middle finger is on the 8th fret 2nd string, and I'm going to mute my 5th string with my index, and then as my hand lays over, sort of my index is going to mute my 1st string, or just cut it off on your 2nd string. So there's C major 7, and this is again another movable bar chord. So if I take it down a half step, B major 7, B flat major 7, and so on and so on. Okay, one more major 7 chord. This is going to be the D string shape, and almost looks like I'm kind of doing a power chord, but based off of the 10th fret on the 4th string, I have my index finger, and then my ring finger is going to bar the 12th frets on the first 3 strings. And then I'm just avoiding my 2 low strings. Okay, now for A minor 7, if you just think like a regular A minor bar chord off of the low 6th string, I'm just going to release my pinky. Okay, so now I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 6th string, ring finger's got the 7th fret 5th string, and then just barring to get the 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. You can also overlap your middle finger to help some pressure. Okay, now another way to play this same chord, there's actually quite a few. This is another good one too. I'm going to use my middle finger to get the low A, that's my 5th fret on the 6th string with my middle. I'm going to skip the 5th string, and then I'm just going to bar with my ring finger and get the 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. I'm going to mute the 1st string and the 5th string, and again, totally movable shape. It's another way to play that, and just to put out there, you can also stack this chord and use your index, middle, ring, and pinky. I could also just sort of bar with one finger. So a lot of different ways to play your A minor 7. Okay, now another good shape is off of the D string. So I'm going to start on my 7th fret 4th string with my index. I'm going to go to the 9th fret 3rd string with my pinky. Middle finger's got the 8th fret 2nd string. Ring finger has the 8th fret 1st string. And I'm going to avoid my 2 low strings. And that's your D string minor 7 shape. It's again movable, so you can bump that anywhere you like. Okay, one more chord. I'm going to go to the open position. If you just think like an A minor chord without your ring finger, you could have your open 6th, open 5th, middle finger's on the 2nd fret 4th string, open 3rd string, index got the 1st fret 2nd string, and then open 1st string. It's your open position A minor 7. This chapter's strum pattern is going to feature our new rhythm with the 16th note, 8th note, and 16th note on each beat. So we're going to count it like this: 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E, a 4 E, a. Now for strumming, when you see the box without a bottom, that's a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. I'm going to recommend to keep a down, up on each strum, but only make contact on the first down, up, miss contact on your next down strum on the end of the beat, and then just hit the last 16th note with your up strum, and that's the of the beat. Here's the pattern without a chord: 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E, a 4 E, a 1 E, a 2 E, a 3E, a 4E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm just keeping steady strumming going, just missing that one contact on the end of the beat. I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat all these 8 to 12 times and check out some different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, grab your C major 7 chord and let's go ahead and do 4 bars with that pattern. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. I recommend to incorporate a metronome. I'm going to have my click at 60 beats a minute, and here is that pattern with the click. 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to do the same pattern for 4 bars with our A minor 7 chord. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. For number 3, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We'll go 4 bars of C major 7 into 4 bars of A minor 7 with the pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of C major 7 into 2 bars of A minor 7. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Here's number 4 a little faster. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of C major 7 into 1 bar of A minor 7. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for the next numbers, we're going to incorporate some chords from previous chapters along with some rhythms that we've talked about. For number 6, we're going to start off with C major 7. We'll have a whole note for bar 1. That's a chord lasting for 4 beats. We'll switch to our normal pattern for bar 2. Switch it to a B major chord with normal pattern on bar 3, and then we'll have 2 half notes for the last bar on bar 4, and each of those chords last for 2 beats. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to be switching from my C major 7 down a half step to my B major. And for B major, this is the major bar chord shape on the 5th string. So I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret 5th string, ring finger bars the 4th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then muting the 1st and the 6th string. Okay, here comes number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. For number 7, we're going to start off with an A minor 7 normal pattern for bar 1. On bar 2, we're going to have a half note rest for the first 2 beats. We won't play anything and then resume our pattern for beats 3 and 4. On bar 3, we'll switch it to an F major. We'll go normal pattern for bar 3. And then on bar 4, we'll go normal pattern for the first 2 beats. And then we'll have a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. Okay, your F major, I'm just going to be doing major bar chord off of the low 6th string. So I've got my index finger on the 1st fret 6th string, ring finger's on the 3rd fret 5th string, pinky's got the 3rd fret 4th string, middle finger has the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 1st frets on the 1st and 2nd string. Here comes number 7. 1, 2, 3 E, up 4 E, up. Rest, rest. Rest. Okay, for number 8, we're going to do an 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with C major 7, normal pattern for the first bar. Bar 2, we'll have normal pattern with a quarter note rest on beat 2. We're going to switch it to a D minor. We'll have normal pattern with a quarter note rest on beat 3 for bar 3, and then normal pattern for bar 4. Switch it to a G7 for bar 5 with a quarter note rest on beat 1, and then normal pattern. Then we'll have normal pattern on bar 6. Switch it to an F minor on bar 7, normal pattern but with the quarter note rest on beat 4, and then we'll have a whole note rest for the whole 8th bar. We won't play anything, so we're going to be resting for 5 beats total at the end of this progression. Okay, for D minor, I'm just doing my minor bar chord off of the 5th string. So I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 5th string, ring finger's got the 7th fret 4th string, pinky's got the 7th fret 3rd string, middle has the 6th fret on the 2nd string, and then barring to get the 5th fret on the 1st string. Also muting my low 6th string. Okay, for G7, it's going to be my dominant 7 chord based off of the 6th string. So I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, ring finger's on the 5th fret 5th string, barring to get the 3rd fret 4th string with my index, middle has the 4th fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 3rd frets on my 1st and 2nd string. And then for F minor, this is my minor shape off of the low 6th string. So I've got my index finger on the 1st fret 6th string, ring's got the 3rd fret 5th string, pinky has the 3rd fret 4th string, and then barring to get the 1st frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. All index. Okay, for number 8, I'm going to do this with the click. 1, 2, 3 E, up 4 E, up. Rest. 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 Rest, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 9, we're going to have an A minor 7. We'll have normal pattern for bar 1. On bar 2, we're going to have normal pattern for the first 2 beats, but then we're going to do a half note tied to another half note. So we're going to hit that chord on beat 3 of bar 2, let it linger all the way through the first 2 beats of bar 3. Then we'll switch to a G minor chord, and we'll have normal pattern from beat 3 all the way through that last bar. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, 3 E, up 4 E, up. 4, 1, 2. Okay, here's number 9 a little faster. 1, 2, 3 E, up 4 E, up. 4, 1, 2. Okay, for this chapter scales, we're going to talk about C major and A minor scale. Now I want to point out that these 2 scales all have the same notes. We're just going to be thinking about it from 2 different perspectives. And what this is the relative major, relative minor connection. So if I'm in the key of C major, my relative minor is built off the 6. So if I just go C, D, E, F, G, A, that's going to be my relative minor. And that'll let me know basically where I can also think about starting minor scales to help map out my neck. And I think about that way a lot. Also, it's great for songwriting and soloing too. If you're ever playing in the key of C major and you want to sound a little more bluesy or minor vibe, just go into that relative minor and you can play A minor over that C major jam. Okay, now I want to Also point out that if you're coming from a minor perspective, your major is built off the third. So if I'm in the key of A minor, if I go A, B, C, that would be my relative major. Okay, now as we go through these couple scales here, we're going to be connecting positions. We've done this before. Several chapters back, we explored the next position up in a major scale. So this one's going to be kind of connecting backwards a position, eventually leading to where we get to connect the whole neck. And we'll be able to do that through using these relative majors and minor concepts. Okay, now let's go ahead and start off with a C major scale. Your notes are going to be all natural, so it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then do a C. Okay, we're going to be doing our second position, so I'm going to give 2 lead up notes. It's a 3 and 5 on your 6th string. Now once we get to our 5th string, we'll go 2, and once we get to our 3rd fret, that's my note C right there, and we'll go to 5. On the 4th string, it's a 2, 3, 5. 3rd string is a 2, 4, 5. 2nd string is a 3, 5, 6. And then on the 1st string, we're going to climb up 3, 5, 7, 8. Okay, now to climb it back down, we'll go 7, 5, 3. 6, 5, 3 on your 2nd string, 5, 4, 2 on your 3rd string, 5, 3, 2 on your 4th string, and then 5, 3 on your 5th string. That takes us down to our C, and if we want to go all the way down 2nd fret, and then 5 to 3 on your 6th string. So this is going to be a 2 octave scale altogether, ending on our 2nd high C right there. Okay, now I recommend to play your 4 basic rhythms: quarter notes, 8th note triplets, and 16th notes. I'm going to start off with quarter notes. So it's just 1 on each note, and I'm going to start right on the note C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to incorporate a metronome for the next rhythms. For 8th notes, you could do 2 on each note or just 1 on each note. I'm going to do 2 on each note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For 8th note triplets, you could do 3 on each note or just 1. I'm going to be doing 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. For 16th notes, you could do 4 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now, as we've introduced our new rhythm for this chapter, we're going to use that same rhythm for our scales. Okay, now the way we'll count this out: 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E, a 4 E, a, and that's going to be the 16th note to a 8th note to another 16th note. And we're going to play this as 1 octave and 2 octaves. Now you could pick all down picks, or you can go down, up, down, and do some alternate picking. There's actually different combinations you can use with your picking for this one, but those are a couple I'll recommend. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to start off, I'm just going to down pick them all. It's going to be 1 octave. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, now here it's going up the 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, now for number 2A, we're going to be looking at an A minor scale. Okay, now I want to just point out the notes of our A minor scale. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to an A. Again, these are all natural notes, and that's how we relate to the key of C major, which is all natural. This one we're going to be exploring some open position. So a couple lead up notes to an A. We're going to go on the 6th string, open 1, 3. Now once we get to our 5th string open, that's our note A. Now from here we'll go open 2, 3. 4th string, open 2, 3. Open 2 on your 3rd string. Open 1, 3 on the 2nd string. And then on the 1st string, open 1, 3, 5. And here's your 2nd octave A. Okay, now coming back down, we'll go 3, 1 open. 2nd string, 3, 1 open. 2 open on your 3rd string. 3, 2 open on your 4th string. 3, 2 open on the 5th string. And 3, 1 open on your 6th string. I'm just going to do some quarter notes here, but I do recommend also work your other basic rhythms for all these scales. I'm going to start right on the note A. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 2B, we're going to put our new rhythm on this scale. I'm going to be using the down, up, down picking for this one, and this is going to be 1 octave. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, now here's going up the full 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 3 and 4, we're going to start to connect our positions on one string. Okay, now we have our 2 different positions, so now just climbing up each set of strings. Starting off with A, this will be on our low 6th string. It's going to be an open 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. For B, it's going to be an open 2, 3, 5, 3, 2 on your 5th string. For C, it's going to be on the 4th string, open 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. Number 4A, we're going to go on the 3rd string, open 2, 4, 5, 4, 2. For 4B, we're going to climb up the 2nd string, open 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, 3, 1. And then for 4C, on the 1st string, we're going to go open 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1. Okay, now for number 5 and 6, we're going to ascend one position and descend the next one. So for number 5, we're going to start off with our C major in our 2nd position. We're going to ascend that one all the way up to the highest note and then descend on our 1st string all the way down into open position, and then we'll descend that whole position thinking of it in the A minor perspective. Okay, here's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for number 6, we're going to ascend in our open A minor position, climb it all the way up to the highest note on the 1st string, and then descend that in our 2nd position. Thinking of it in C major terms. Okay, here's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now for number 1A, we're going to do our C major scale in the 7th position. So we're going to go 8 to 10 on the 6th string. We'll go 7, 8, 10, 5th string. 7, 9, 10, 4th string. 7, 9, 10, 3rd string. 8 to 10, 2nd string. And 1st string is going to be a 7, 8, 10, 12. Coming back down, we'll go 10, 8, 7. 10 to 8, 2nd string. 10, 9, 7, 3rd string. 10, 9, 7, 4th string. 10, 8-7 fifth string, and then 10-8 on your sixth string. Now I recommend run all your basic rhythms. I'm just going to be doing quarter notes. So here we go, quarter notes for number 1A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to put that new rhythm on this scale. 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, now I'm going to take that up the full 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for number 2A, we're going to be looking at the A minor scale in 5th position. So I'm going to start off on my 6th string, 5, 7, 8. 5th string is a 5, 7, 8. 4th string is a 5, 7. 3rd string is a 4, 5, 7. 2nd string is a 5, 6, 8. And 1st string is a 5, 7, 8. Coming back down, 7 to 5, 1st string. 8, 6, 5, 2nd string. 7, 5, 4, 3rd string. 7, 5, 4th string. 8, 7, 5, 5th string. And then 8, 7, 5, 6th string. Okay, here's just quarter notes going on number 2A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to put that new rhythm. This is number 2B, 1 octave. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, now here's going up 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3E, a 4E, a. Okay, for number 3 and 4, we're going to connect our 2 positions. So for our low 6th string, for number 3A, it's going to be a 5, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. B is going to be the same frets, 5, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. Number C, we're going to go to the 4th string. It's going to be a 5, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. For number 4A, on the 3rd string, it's going to be a 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, 5. For number 4B, on the 2nd string, it's going to be a 5, 6, 8, 10, 8, 6. And then for number 4C, it's going to be 1st string, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8, 7. Okay, for number 5, we're going to ascend in our 7th position, climb it all the way up to our highest note, and then descend down on the 1st string, and then take it all the way down in our 5th position. So we're thinking of a C major for the first one, and then climbing down in the A minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. For number 6, we're going to ascend in the A minor 5th position, take it all the way up on the 1st string to our highest notes, and then descend it down in 7th position. 1, 2, 3, 4. always recommend to jam on your scales and do some improvisation with your chords. Now, since C major and A minor both relate to each other, we can use all of that neck we just explored to play over both of those chords. So I'm going to start off by strumming some C major 7, and then I'm going to improvise with some scales, and then I'll do the same thing with an A minor 7. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chords. Okay, now here's the same concept, jamming off of an A minor 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chords, some scales. Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to talk about some finger picking. I definitely use a lot of finger picking. I play a lot of solo guitar, and I do a lot of acoustic guitar with it too. You could finger pick on electric or acoustic. Let's go ahead and talk about some cool patterns, exploring some different ways we can use our fingers. Okay, now for number 1, we're going to be working off of a pattern where we're going to use our thumb and then our index, middle, and ring. And this is going to be like a thumb, and it's a claw concept too. So we'll talk about hitting chords at the same time and then individually. But usually when I'm picking with my fingers, it's going to be these 4 fingers. You can also pick with your pinky too, but all these are going to incorporate these main fingers. Okay, now it's a concept of having the thumb hitting a lot of our bass notes, and then we can use these 3 fingers as a team to each have their own specific string. Okay, I'll just be playing these one time, but I'll definitely recommend repeat them a bunch and check out your different tempos. Okay, now for number 1, my thumb's going to be hitting the 5th string, and we're going to be working off of a C major chord. Now my index finger is ready to hit the 4th string, middle finger is on the 3rd string, and then my ring finger is on the 2nd string. And that's what I'm going to be using whenever we hit those particular strings with those fingers. Okay, now as far as our chords go, we're going to do a C major chord for bar 1. We're going to go C major 7 for bar 2. Bar 3 has a C7, and then we'll take it to an F major 7. Okay, now, as our pattern switches to that last chord, I am going to shift my thumb and other fingers up a set of strings. So this thumb and claw can also move around like this, and we'll be exploring that too in the process. Okay, here comes number 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Here's number 1 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, for number 2, I'm going to be having A minor for the first bar, and my claw is going to be based off of the 3 high strings for this one, and my thumb is hitting the open 5th string. Now, second bar, I'm going to switch to an A minor 7 chord, same concept. When I go to a D minor chord in bar 3, my thumb will shift to hit the 4th string, And then when we go to a G7, my thumb's going to come all the way down to my 6th string to hit the bass notes. So you'll notice the thumb is in charge of a lot of the bass notes, and it's going to sometimes have the 6th string, sometimes the 5th or the 4th string, depending. Okay, here comes number 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Two a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, now for number 3, we're going to switch our pattern a little bit. I'm going to be rolling from my ring finger to my middle to my index for these next ones. And for the first bar, we're going to be on a G major, so my thumb's on the low 6th string. Second bar, we're going to go to a C major, and I'm going to shift my thumb to the 5th string. When we go to a D major on bar 3, my thumb is now on the 4th string, and it'll stay there when we go to a D7. Okay, here comes number 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, here's number 3 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, for number 4, I'm going to start off with an A major chord on bar 1, and I'm going to have my thumb on the open 5th string. We'll switch it to an A7 on bar 2, thumb still on the same string, and when we go to a D major to a D minor for the next 2 bars, my thumb will just stay on the open 4th string. Okay, here comes number 4. And 2 and 3 and 4 and... Here's number 4 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, for number 5, we're going to go into 3-4, and we'll also be in 3-4 for number 6. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to be rotating my bass notes from the open 6th string. I'm going to go to my 5th string, and then I'll go to my 4th string, and then back to my 5th string. So we're going to have a little bass line built in with this. First 2 bars are going to be in E minor, and then the 3rd and 4th bar will be in E major. Here's number 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Number 5 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Okay, for number 6, we're going to stay in 3-4, and we're going to have a descending bass line. The first bar is going to be a C major. We're going to have a C over B for bar 2. And then we're going to go to a A minor 7 in open position for bar 3, and then we'll climb back up with that C over B again. And then for your C over B, if you just think a C major chord, just go to your middle finger to take your bass line down to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and then you can keep your index where it was, and then usually just avoiding that 4th string. And then I'll give you that descending bass line down to your open A string. And for this one, my thumb's always going to be on the 5th string. Okay, here comes number 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Here's number 6 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Okay, now for number 1, we're going to be working off of a G major chord, just your straight up G. Here's the concept. If I hit a bass note on beat 1, that's just my low G. On beat 2, I'm going to hit a bass and then a chord, 2 and then I'll just repeat that again, 3 and then 4 and. Okay, now here comes number 1. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's number 1 a little faster. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. number 2, we're going to do a similar concept, but now my bass line is going to rotate from a low G to my open 4 string, and that's the note D. That's the 5th in the key of G, and that's going to give us a cool bass line that's going to sound like this. So real popular for bass lines. If you've ever experimented with some bass or tuned into the bass, roots and fifths are great bass lines to start to build. Okay, now here's number 2 nice and slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then here's number 2 even faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, for number 3, we're going to be working off of a C major, and we're going to just have our roots in the bass for all 4 beats, and then we'll be doing our chord pops on the end of 2, 3, and 4 again. Here's number 3 nice and slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Here's number 3 a little faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, now for number 4, we're going to rotate a bass line, but this time we're going to be playing a root and a major third. So in your C chord, you've got a built-in E right on your D string, on the 4 string. So my thumb's going to be rotating from my 5th to my 4 string, and I'm going to be doing those same chord pops. Okay, here comes number 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Here's number 4 a little faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, for number 5, we're going to switch it to a D minor, and I'm just going to be doing my open 4 string, all these Ds in the bass for this one with those same chord pops. Here comes number 5 slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, now here's 5 a little faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, for the last one, number 6, we're going to do the same D minor jam, but this time I'm going to have a rotating bass line from my open 4 string to my open 5th string. That's the note A, that's my 5th in the key of D, and we're going to be playing a lower 5th for this bass line. So as opposed to climbing up like this, we're going to be like. Another great way to play your bass lines is just put that 5th down. Here comes number 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And here's number 6 a little faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for chapter 18. Take it easy.